Alright guys, I am back with my review of The Walking Dead Season 4, Episode 3, Isolation. And this one starts off where the last one ended with Tyrese getting pissed off that his girlfriend's body has been dragged outside and burned along with a friend of his. And he tells Rick he wants answers. He wants to find out who killed them. This is murder. You can't have a murderer running around the prison. And Rick tries to calm him down, and Carol and Daryl are out there, but Tyrese is so upset, he takes a swing at Rick. And Daryl grabs Tyrese, and while he's holding him, Rick takes a cheap shot, and then proceeds to beat his ass. It kind of felt like they were ganging up on him here. So I didn't like that, but everybody calms down, and Tyrese is just focused on burying the bodies, and Rick gets some medical treatment. But now, more and more people are getting sick. Like, really sick. They're turning into zombies. It's crazy right now. And when Season 3 ended, they got all these new people. Like, old people and children. And I was thinking, how are they going to do this? Because eventually they're going to have to leave the prison and travel. And they can't have all these people with them. What are they going to do to write these characters off? And I assumed it would be something like the governor comes back and kills a lot of them. But no, this is what they're going to do. They're going to kill them off through a virus. So I think that's the purpose of this entire thing, storyline-wise, is just to kill off a lot of these secondary characters. People we've never seen before. So Herschel tells them that they need antibiotics in order to prevent this, because it's the symptoms that are killing people. And Daryl says he's going to get a group together. They're going to go to this veterinarian hospital and try to find these antibiotics, even though it's really far away. So that's the plan right now. And they're also going to quarantine the weaker people, like children and the old people. So Carl's going to be quarantined along with the other children, which he's not happy about. And the last thing they just showed was Glenn gets sick. And when they first showed Glenn and he was acting kind of weird, I thought he was going to have these characteristics of a hypochondriac. He would be paranoid because everybody's sick around him and he's kind of a germaphobe or something. I mean, not like really OCD about it, but with so many people getting sick, he's going to start getting paranoid. That's what I thought they were going to do, but no, he's actually got the disease. Really not a lot happening in this episode. But Carol is talking to Rick. She says the water pumps are clogged. And Rick says, we have enough water for today. We'll worry about that tomorrow. And we see Tyrese, who decides he's going to go with Daryl and Michonne to get the medicine because his friend Sasha's been quarantined, so he wants to make sure that they bring this medicine back to the prison. And before he leaves, he tells Carol, I know you really care about the people here. Would you mind checking in on Sasha for me while I'm gone? And he leaves. And then Carol has this breakdown. She gets angry and knocks over what little water they have left like a complete dumbass. And I'm really hoping she's not the murderer who killed Tyrese's girlfriend, if only for the fact that would mean more Carol screen time. And we see Herschel, who is going to make some tea for the sick people. And Maggie tries to stop him because she doesn't want him to go in there and possibly get sick himself. And he delivers this epic speech and says, we risk our lives every day just living in this world now. It just depends what you're risking it for. So she lets him go in. And then we see, oh my God. Then we see Carol, who decides to go out and unclog the water pumps herself, completely disobeying Rick's orders. And Rick sees her out there, and she gets surrounded by zombies, so he runs out to try to help her. And Carol is trying to fight off these zombies. Does anyone else see the irony in Carol being the one to teach the children how to fight? Because she's fucking horrible. And I thought that was really funny. But she gets back into the prison, and Rick tells her, he's like, hey, I thought we were going to handle this tomorrow. And she said, well, we may not be here tomorrow, or something to that effect. So Daryl, Michonne, Tyrese, and one of the new guys, they're driving to the veterinarian hospital, and they hear a voice on the radio, but you can't really make out what the guy says. But Daryl's distracted by this, and he sees a zombie in the road, so he swerves, and he's trying to miss all these zombies. And eventually they stop the car when they see a cluster of zombies in front of them. And the camera pans back, and the zombies are all the way down the road, like hundreds of these things. So Daryl goes in reverse, and he hits so many zombies they kind of pile up under the back of the car. So the car is screwed. They know they have to escape somehow. They're going to have to fight their way out. So they all jump out of the car except for Tyrese. And they're fighting off these zombies. Could you imagine if Carol was there trying to help them fight the zombies off? It'd be like, fuck it. God, I hate her so much. But they're fighting off the zombies, and Tyrese is just sitting in the car. And I think in the first episode of this season, he said something about how he didn't like to fight the zombies at the fence because you're basically just picking them off. So I can kind of understand that, but here you're being swarmed by them. But forget that, even. Your friend Sasha is sick and needs you to get this medicine, and you're just going to give up and sit in the fucking car? What was that about? Isn't he trying to fight for his friend? So that made no sense at all to me. But eventually he does get out of the car and he starts fighting these zombies with a hammer. But he gets surrounded. Daryl, Michonne, and the other guy have to take off and leave him. But eventually he does make it back to the group. So he's still alive for right now at least. And then it cuts back to the prison. Herschel is taking care of some sick patients. And one of them, the Dr. S, they call him, actually coughs blood directly into Herschel's face. You would think this guy would know better, being a doctor himself, and he's still well enough to have a conversation, yet he just coughs, doesn't even try to cover his mouth, and just spits blood all over Herschel. And, I mean, if he doesn't get sick, it's a miracle. But then we see Rick talking to Carol, and he asks her, he says, "Did you kill Karen and David?" And she just says, "Yes," and walks away. So she is the murderer. Oh, this is disappointing to me, but I know some people are going to say, well, it's for the good of the group. Somebody has to do it. This is Shane behavior here. And I honestly don't think it's for the good of the group. I think Carol is doing this for herself. I mean, would she try to kill Rick if he tries to stop her? Would she kill Rick if he got sick? Is she going to try to kill Glenn? I mean, where does it end? So I have no idea where they're going to go with that. But, yeah, that was the end of the episode. And overall, I have to say it was a pretty good episode. It was a little slow in the middle, but overall it was good. And they did build up some new stuff. Like you have the voice on the radio. Carol's the murderer. Tyrese is... I don't know what's up with him, but they're definitely trying to do something more with this character, which they've needed to do for a while. And yeah, that was pretty much it. And after this episode, I actually watched some of The Talking Dead. I never watched this. I record the show on an overlay, so I get like the first 5 minutes of Talking Dead. But Marilyn Manson was terrible in what I saw. He kept messing with his microphone and screwing it up, so they had to hand him a microphone, and then when he did talk, it was something stupid about zombies shitting. It just came across really bad here. But Chris Jericho is going to be on Talking Dead this week, so I probably will record that one. But anyways, that's my review of this episode. Hope you guys liked the video. Leave your thoughts on this episode in the comments, and thanks for watching.